Probably as long as humans have. We have to stamp out bullying in all forms.
This video is about bullying. That is a common feature in every school. In this video, we will show an example of Ayush. Ayush, an intelligent boy, but little short in height. This scene showed three students who think themselves as rowdies, but actually are hooligans, bullying him on his height. The next scene will show emotional status of Ayush. Ayush, what happened? Ayush,
Nothing happened, just leave me alone.
come on man, tell me what happened.
Please leave me alone. It's not big, it's not funny, and it certainly isn't clever. What it does is ruin our lives.
Ayush, wait. क्या हुआ?
कुछ नहीं हुआ।
बता भैया हम तेरे दोस्त हैं। अब मेरा दोस्त नहीं होते हैं। चल चल मेरे आजा मुंह तो। बता हमसे क्या हुआ?
Let us talk to our principal sir and get more insight about bullying. Sir, today we are going to take an interview on the topic bullying. Can we start?
Sure.
So first question to you. How many instances of bullying do we have in our school every year?
Very tough question. Now you see, as far as bullying is concerned, right? If you go by the strict definition of bullying, probably there will be a very large number of cases of bullying. Okay? Somebody telling them something offensive, or somebody using a foul language, somebody is hurting somebody. All these come under the purview of bullying, right? But there are 2 or 3 issues here. Number one, all such cases are not reported because children try and handle everything amongst themselves. So this is number one. Number two, such cases where children tease each other or try to have fun at the expense of other children, they settle it out amongst themselves. But having said that, if I really talk of the bullying where a very serious case of psychological, mental hurt or physical hurt, those cases are not many, as all of you would know, isn't it? Because you also come to know about such cases. So I would feel that every year, 10, 15, maximum 20 cases across the school, we have such cases. And most of these cases are, unfortunately, by the senior students who want to settle a score for their younger siblings with their classmates. Do you understand it?
Yes.
Okay. Next,
So next question to you is, do we have any anti-bullying school policy?
Of course. So we have got, as per the norms and regulations, an anti-bullying body committee, okay, which is having the section heads, the teachers, the counselor, the parent representative, a student representative, okay. And the mandate for this committee is to sensitize staff, students, even parents also, because many times we have come across cases where parents are also involved in some kind of argument and all that. Okay, so first is sensitize, then tell them that what are the consequences of this, and in some cases where counseling is required, the counselor takes up the counseling exercise also. Okay.
So the third question is, what action does the school take when a case of bullying is being reported?
So, if a case of bullying is reported by the involvement of young children, we immediately have to talk to them. They require intervention, and depending upon the extent of the incident, isn't it? You know, the child will be taught first by the person who is in charge of the child, whether it is class teacher or the discipline in charge or the counselor. You know, if it is a very small, minor case, then the case is settled out, because ultimately the purpose is that the children should understand that this kind of behavior is not acceptable. Children should also understand that what are the consequences of such a behavior. You know, apart from any other consequence, the first consequence is that you will get hurt. So getting hurt for no reason is not something which children should indulge in, right? But to ensure that it does not happen in a long term, and children do not develop any ill feeling towards each other, a counselor's intervention is also required. Okay. After taking all this case, we also in some cases bring it to the notice of the parents also, so that parents can also sit with their wards and reflect upon the whole incident.
So the fourth question is there any communication being done with parents related to the bullying cases?
That's what I told you, that in those cases where we think that this case deserves, where parental intervention is also required, then we will ask them to intervene. In some cases, we will just inform them and tell them that, look, this is what has happened, please take care of it. Because many a times we do not want the parents to be involved and get angry with their own children and start taking action on their own, which may not be in the best interest of the child.
And my last question to you is, how do you prepare students to face such situations?
To face such situations?
Yes.
No, what perhaps you are asking that how to prepare the students so that they do not become victim of bullying.
Yes.
Probably this is what you want to ask. No? So this again has a larger dimension to the whole thing, because there are several ways in which students can become victim to the bullying, isn't it? Online bullying is a different thing. You know, somebody passing an objectionable comment is a different thing. You know? Somebody, getting into a brawl and physical fight is a different thing. So the bullying, anti-bullying committee, which I talked to you in the beginning, it is their job to sensitize that how to avoid, these naughty situations and how to come out of it, how not to indulge in something, how to anticipate what might happen. And of course, there is a separate story about online bullying, or what we call cyber bullying. For that, we have organized workshops, sensitization camps. We keep talking to the children in the assemblies, at other forums, and we hope the children will become intelligent.
So my next question for you is, what do you think we should take as precautions to avoid such instances?
Yes, so I was talking to your friend earlier that anyone, first of all, okay, should be not, adding fuel to a situation where already fire is taking place. What does it mean for you is that everybody should first of all have some technique or some habit or some quality of managing emotions, managing anger, okay? Being very responsible in what you say and what you do. that is what the upbringing is all about, isn't it? That is what, when we say that you should develop the finer human qualities. So what do we mean by that? You cannot develop finer human qualities by becoming a quarrelsome person. You can bring in only when you are somebody who can prevent a quarrel. And also tit for tat, tit for tat. This is something which is most of the time very, very serious cause for the serious problems. Means somebody has told you something, you tell something, that tells something. So an intelligent person will try and come out of this situation. But yes, all the children should be intelligent enough to report the matter as soon as it has been brought to their notice. If somebody is constantly bothering you, or somebody is constantly posing a threat to you, then you should not keep quiet. That is the important.
So my next question is, what do you do to protect the person reporting the bullying?
Yes. So that is very, very important, because what happens is, first of all, people don't report the bad incidences. And if somebody, out of their frankness or out of their ability to take charge of themselves, or their ability to demonstrate courage, they report such cases, isn't it? Then it is the responsibility of the friends, responsibility of the parents, the teachers, the school, to protect the interest of that child. So whatever steps are required for that, that must be taken into account.
What kind of training does the staff have to recognize and address bullying?
So again, it will go to the different departments of bullying, isn't it? The teachers must be very alert that if there is some smell coming of something growing up between a group of children or between two people, then the teacher should be very alert. So being alert and vigilant is one thing which a school staff must be trained for. Not only that you are trained to be vigilant, you should also practice that vigilance. Because I know that something is going on which is wrong, and then I turn the other way around, then I have in fact become a part of abetting that incident, isn't it? So I have to intervene, and I have to take action, and I have to ensure that nothing further worsening of the situation takes place.
So my next question is, what a student should do if he is being bullied, how he should face the situation, and how he should report it.
Yeah. So I think part of this question has already been answered in the previous questions. But as far as the reporting is concerned, I think the first person the child should report is the class teacher. Okay. Now, maybe the situation demands that your class teacher is not available, or you don't know where the class teacher is. Maybe class teacher is somewhere in the classroom or something like that. Then the next person is the section in charge. Okay, because the section in charge will always be available. If that is also not possible, then you tell me, where should the child go? This office. This office. So that we immediately take action. Right?
So sir, my last question is to you. Are there any government laws on bullying?
Yes. So anti-bullying has been taken up very, very, very seriously by the governmental agencies, by the affiliating boards, because this problem is becoming very rampant. And unless there was a regulation, there is no further action possible. So this regulation demands that every school should have an anti-bullying committee.
Stop bullying and raise your voice. By telling, we feel lighter by heart, and actually it helps us.
मम्मी को बोल कॉम्प्लेन मिला है